High Admiral Xylera stood on the bridge of the celestial vanquisher, her iridescent scales reflecting the pale blue light of Earth's atmosphere. The Arcanian Empire's most advanced warship hung in low orbit, accompanied by a fleet of 300 vessels that cast long shadows across the planet's surface. Their arrival had been calculated to inspire terror, a show of force meant to crush any thought of resistance before it could form. "Status report," she commanded, her translator converting the clicks and whistles of her native tongue into standard galactic common. "All ships in position, High Admiral." Her second-in-command, Commander Xerix, reported. "The humans appear to be unusually calm." Xylera's head frills twitched with annoyance. The Arcanian Empire had conquered 17 civilizations across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. Each time, their arrival had triggered panic, desperate pleas for mercy, or futile attempts at resistance. But the humans? They were simply watching. "Open a channel to their global command," she ordered. "Let's see how calm they remain when faced with extinction." The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a dark-skinned human female wearing a simple gray uniform adorned with minimal insignia. Admiral Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force didn't look impressed or afraid. If anything, she appeared mildly amused. "Greetings, High Admiral," Chen said, her voice steady and controlled. "I assume this is where you demand our unconditional surrender." Xylera's inner eyelids narrowed. "You understand your situation well. Human, your species has been deemed unworthy of joining the Arcanian Empire. Your technological development is chaotic, your political systems fragmented, and your warfare primitive. You will be eliminated to make room for more deserving species." Chen smiled, a gesture that Xylera's cultural database indicated could mean anything from joy to impending violence. "Interesting assessment. Though I'm curious, did you actually study our warfare, or did you just look at our official military capabilities?" "We have monitored your planet for the past 30 cycles," Xylera replied dismissively. "Your most advanced weapons barely achieve light speed. Your ships require chemical propulsion. Your defensive capabilities are limited to what we wanted you to see," Chen interrupted, her smile widening. "You know what humanity's greatest achievement isn't. It's not our resilience, or our adaptability, or even our creativity. It's our paranoia." Warning signals suddenly blared across the celestial vanquisher's bridge. Xerix's scales paled as he checked his instruments. "High Admiral, we're detecting massive energy signatures everywhere. They're coming from the planet's oceans, from underground facilities, from orbital positions we thought were empty. You see," Chen continued, "we've known about alien life for over a century. Not officially, of course, but we knew we weren't alone, and we knew that someday someone would come. Someone who'd look at our public technology, our visible military assets, and decide we were easy prey." Her expression hardened. "So we prepared. We developed in secret." "Now then," Chen said, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's united response to extinction, "let's discuss the terms of your surrender. And after that, you can deliver a message to your empire." She paused, letting the moment stretch. "Tell them humanity says thanks for the warm-up. We've been looking for a reason to test our real capabilities." As Xylera stared at the tactical display showing her defeated fleet, she realized the Arcanian Empire hadn't found a primitive species to conquer. They'd awakened a sleeping giant, one that had been preparing for this moment for generations. And somehow she knew this was only the beginning. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the depths of Facility Omega, 3 kilometers beneath the Indian Ocean floor, watching as technicians prepared to reveal humanity's greatest secret to their defeated visitors. High Admiral Xylera and her command staff had been invited to tour one of Earth's hidden research facilities, a courtesy that felt more like a calculated demonstration of power. "Welcome to where it all began," Maya said, addressing the Arcanian delegation. Their scales had lost their luster during their week of captivity, though Xylera maintained her rigid posture. "This is one of 37 quantum research facilities. We built after detecting your empire's expansion 50 years ago. Impossible, Commander Xerix interrupted. Our stealth technology was impressive, Maya acknowledged, leading them past rows of quantum computers that hummed with barely contained energy. But you made the same mistake everyone makes about humans. You assumed our official scientific publications represented the extent of our knowledge. The group entered a massive circular chamber dominated by a device that defied conventional physics. It looked like a series of concentric rings suspended in midair, each rotating independently around a core of pure darkness. The Void Engine, Maya announced with poorly concealed pride. Our answer to faster-than-light travel. While you were watching our chemical rockets and basic ion drives, we were learning to tear holes in reality itself. Silara's translator crackled as she spoke. Your species barely achieved lunar colonization. How did you develop this level of technology in secret? Maya smiled, remembering the day humanity realized they weren't alone and weren't ready. Fear is an excellent motivator, Admiral. In 1973, one of our radio telescopes picked up encrypted transmissions from your empire. We couldn't decode them, but we could track them. We watched your ships destroy civilizations that refused to submit. We observed your pattern of conquest. She gestured to a holographic display showing the history of human technological development, both public and classified. Every major nation on Earth recognized the threat. For the first time in human history, we had a common enemy. The United Earth Defense Protocol was signed in secret, creating a shadow infrastructure dedicated to preparing for eventual contact. But your wars, Xerix protested, your political conflicts, were partly theater, Maya finished. Don't misunderstand. Many conflicts were genuine. But the major powers learned to cooperate behind the scenes. Every public space program had a classified counterpart. Every visible military installation had a hidden twin. We took our greatest minds off the grid, gave them unlimited resources, and a single mission: survive first contact. The tour continued through laboratories where captured Arcanian technology was being dissected and improved upon. Maya noticed how Xelara's frills twitched when they passed a weapons testing chamber, where human scientists had already modified Arcanian energy weapons to be 40% more efficient. Your arrogance was our greatest advantage, Maya explained. You saw what you expected to see. A fractured, primitive species obsessed with posting pictures of their meals on social media. You never wondered why we maintained such obvious technological limitations while our computing power grew exponentially. They reached the facility's command center, where a global map showed hundreds of similar installations activating across Earth. Green dots representing humanity's hidden fleet appeared in orbit, far outnumbering the disabled Arcanian ships. But here's what truly separates humans from your previous conquests, Maya said, turning to face Silara directly. We don't just adapt technology, we reimagine it. Your faster-than-light drives rely on bending space. We learn to punch through it. Your quantum communications have 12 levels of encryption. Ours exist outside normal spacetime. You can't intercept what isn't there. A technician approached with a tablet, and Maya nodded after reading the display. The Council has approved the next phase. Admiral Chen sends her regards. She faced the Arcanian delegation. You're about to witness the launch of Operation Thunderstrike. Your empire believes they lost contact with your fleet because we destroyed it. They've assembled an armada to avenge you, 5 times the size of your expedition. Silara's inner eyelids widened. You cannot hope to defeat such a force. Defeat them. Maya laughed softly. Admiral, we're going to recruit them. Humanity's greatest weapon isn't our technology. It's our ideas. Freedom. Self-determination. The right to choose one's path. We've spent 50 years preparing not just to fight your empire, but to transform it. The main screen activated, showing thousands of human ships emerging from hidden docks across the solar system. Each vessel incorporated both human and modified Arcanian technology, creating hybrid designs that should have been impossible. "Watch carefully, Admiral," Maya said as the fleet assembled. "You're about to see why humans don't just win wars. We changed the rules of engagement. Your empire thought they could test us with your invasion. Instead, you helped us perfect our technologies and tactics. Now, we're ready to take the fight to your doorstep." As alarms sounded throughout the facility, announcing the commencement of Operation Thunderstrike, Maya saw something she never expected in Solara's alien features. Hope. Perhaps the Admiral had realized that humanity wasn't interested in simple revenge. They were offering something far more dangerous to the Empire. An alternative. Captain James Rodriguez watched the tactical display aboard the EDF Prometheus as the human fleet prepared to make history. 5,000 ships gathered at the edge of the solar system, their hulls gleaming with the distinctive blue-black sheen of quantum-shifted materials. Each vessel represented a perfect fusion of human ingenuity and reverse-engineered Arcanian technology. "All ships report ready, Captain," his XO, Lieutenant Sarah Nash, announced. Void engines spooled and synchronized across the fleet. James nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. On the bridge's secondary display, he could see High Admiral Solara watching from her containment quarters aboard the Prometheus. The Arcanian leader had insisted on witnessing humanity's first strike against her empire, though James suspected her reasons weren't entirely about military observation. "Fleet-wide channel," he ordered. The communications officer complied with a quick gesture. "This is Captain Rodriguez. Operation Thunderstrike commences in 5 minutes. Remember your training. Remember why we're here. This isn't about revenge. It's about reshaping the galaxy." The plan was audacious, even by human standards. While the Arcanian Empire expected a defensive battle near Earth, the human fleet would strike at the heart of their territory, not to destroy, but to liberate. "Void signatures detected," Nash reported. "Massive Arcanian fleet incoming, exactly where intelligence said they'd be." She paused, checking her readings. 15,000 ships, Captain. They're preparing to jump to Earth." James allowed himself a small smile. "They're about to jump into empty space. Execute Phase 1. Across the human fleet, void engines activated simultaneously. But unlike conventional FTL drives that pushed through space, these engines created controlled quantum tunnels, corridors through reality itself. The effect was instantaneous. One moment, the human fleet hovered at the edge of the solar system. The next, they materialized in the heart of Arcanian space, surrounding their capital world of Arcan Prime. "Multiple contacts," Nash announced, professional calm masking her excitement. "The Arcanian home fleet is scrambling to respond. Their orbital defenses are activating." "Execute Phase 2, James ordered. "Selective targeting only. Remember, we're here to demonstrate, not destroy." The human fleet moved with impossible precision, their quantum-linked AIs coordinating actions faster than organic minds could process. Targeted electromagnetic pulses disabled Arcanian weapons while leaving life support intact. Quantum scramblers disrupted their communication networks, isolating military channels from civilian frequencies. On the main viewer, James watched as the Arcanian home fleet attempted to organize a defense. Their tactics were textbook perfect, exactly what you'd expect from an empire that had dominated space warfare for centuries. But they were fighting yesterday's war. "They're launching fighters," Nash reported. "Standard crescent formation." "Show them why that's a mistake," James replied. Human interceptors deployed, but instead of engaging directly, they simply disappeared. The void engines had been miniaturized, allowing even fighter-sized craft to perform micro-jumps. The Arcanian fighters found themselves swinging at shadows, while human ships materialized behind them, disabling their systems with surgical precision. "Captain," his communications officer called out, "we're receiving transmissions from multiple Arcanian colonies. They're requesting dialogue." James glanced at Solara's display. The Arcanian admiral was watching intently, her scales shifting colors in what he'd learned to recognize as deep thought. "Now for the real purpose of Operation Thunderstrike," he said, opening a channel to all frequencies, military, civilian, and even the supposedly secret channels of the Arcanian resistance. People of the Arcanian Empire, this is Captain James Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Force. You've been told that humans are primitive, that we were easily defeated. Your leaders are about to learn differently. He nodded to his communications officer, who initiated the data burst they prepared. Across the Arcanian Empire, quantum encrypted transmissions carried evidence of the Empire's deceptions, along with offers of alliance from Earth. We could destroy your military infrastructure, James continued. We could dismantle your empire piece by piece. Instead, we offer a choice. The Earth Defense Force didn't come here to conquer. We came to prove that there's another way. Your empire is built on suppression and fear. We represent something different. Cooperation, innovation, freedom. On his tactical display, James watched as more Arcanian ships powered down their weapons. Not surrendering, but choosing not to fight. The quantum links showed similar responses across the Empire. Colonies declaring independence, garrison fleets standing down, resistance movements emerging from hiding. The Admiralty Council is requesting emergency communication, Nash reported, a hint of satisfaction in her voice. They're asking for terms. James looked at Silara again. The Arcanian admiral straightened, her scales now showing the deep blue of revelation. You never intended to destroy us, she said. This entire operation, it was about showing our people the truth. Humanity learned long ago that the most powerful weapon isn't a gun or a ship, James replied. It's an idea. Your empire taught its people that strength comes from control. We're teaching them that true strength comes from freedom. The tactical display continued to update as more Arcanian forces stood down. Not a single human weapon had been fired in anger. Not one Arcanian life had been lost. Yet in less than an hour, humanity had achieved what centuries of resistance couldn't. They had shaken the foundations of an empire. The real war, James said, addressing both his crew and their Arcanian guests, begins now. Not with weapons, but with words. Not through destruction, but through transformation. The galaxy is about to learn why humans don't just win conflicts. We revolutionize them. As the Arcanian Admiralty Council's surrender terms came through, James couldn't help but think that this was just the beginning. Humanity had announced its presence to the galaxy not through superior firepower, but through superior imagination. And that, he knew, would change everything. Zyra, once a loyal citizen of the Arcanian Empire, stood before the Grand Assembly on Arcan Prime. 3 months had passed since Operation Thunderstrike, and the galaxy was still reeling from its implications. The massive chamber, traditionally reserved for imperial declarations, now hosted representatives from every Arcanian world and their human allies. The integration protocol has exceeded all expectations, she announced, her iridescent scales reflecting the chamber's light. As chief liaison between Earth and the former Empire, she had witnessed the transformation firsthand. 87% of imperial worlds have adopted the new autonomous governance system. Human technological integration stands at 63% efficiency. In the diplomatic section, Dr. Maya Patel nodded approvingly. The human scientist had become a symbol of Earth's approach. Teach, don't dominate. Share, don't impose. The results were undeniable. But the numbers tell only part of the story, Zyra continued. The real change is in our people. For the first time in 10,000 cycles, Arcanians are innovating again. Creating, questioning. The humans didn't just defeat our military. They awakened our civilization. Holoprojectors activated, showing scenes from across former imperial space. Arcanian scientists working alongside human researchers, developing technologies that merged both species approaches. Colonial worlds establishing their own governments, adapting Earth's democratic principles to their unique cultures. Former imperial warships being converted into exploration vessels, their weapons replaced with scientific equipment. We feared humans would destroy us, Zyra said, her voice carrying across the chamber. Instead, they reminded us of who we once were. Before the Empire, Arcanians were explorers, philosophers, artists. We built wonders, not weapons. We sought understanding, not dominance. The assembly chamber's mood shifted as memories of ancient Arcanian glory stirred. Their species had achieved spaceflight millennia before humans learned to make fire. But somewhere along the way, they had lost their way, turning to conquest instead of creation. The humans call it the Renaissance effect. Zyra explained. When a civilization encounters an outside force that challenges not just their military might, but their fundamental assumptions about reality. Earth's history is full of such moments, periods when the collision of different cultures sparked explosive growth in art, science, and philosophy. She gestured to a new hologram, showing the latest breakthrough from the Joint Human-Arcanian Research Initiative, a prototype vessel that combined Arcanian mastery of space-time manipulation with human quantum tunneling technology. Its capabilities made both species' previous ships look primitive by comparison. But the greatest change, Zyra continued, her scales shifting to the deep purple of emotional truth, is in how we see ourselves. The Empire taught us that strength meant forcing others to submit. Humans showed us that true strength lies in the courage to change, to admit mistakes, to embrace the unknown. The chamber erupted in discussion, scales flickering in waves of color as Arcanians debated openly. Another change brought by human influence. In the past, such gatherings were silent affairs, with citizens simply accepting imperial decrees. Some call it defeat, Zyra acknowledged, waiting for the chamber to quiet. They say we submitted to human dominance, but look around you. Our cities are thriving. Our colonies are flourishing. Our people are creating things the Empire would have deemed impossible. Is this what defeat looks like? She activated one final hologram, a real-time map of known space. Hundreds of points of light represented joint human-Arcanian expeditions, exploring regions the Empire had dismissed as worthless. Each light marked a new discovery, a new opportunity, a new beginning. The humans have a saying, Zyra said. The only true failure is the failure to grow. 3 months ago, we thought we were facing extinction. Instead, we found transformation. The Empire is gone, yes. But the Arcanian people, we're more alive than we've been in millennia. In the diplomatic section, Maya stood and approached the podium, an unprecedented break from protocol that symbolized the new reality. The awakening isn't just about Arcanians, she added. Humanity is changing too. Your understanding of space-time, your millennia of scientific knowledge, your unique perspective on existence, these are treasures we never expected to find. Together, the human scientist and the Arcanian liaison faced the assembly. This is what first contact should be, Maya declared. Not conquest, not submission, but synthesis. The birth of something greater than either of our species could achieve alone. Zyra's scales shifted to the brilliant gold of revelation. The Empire asked what humans could contribute to galactic civilization. Now we know. They contribute chaos, not the chaos of destruction, but the chaos of creation. The chaos that breaks old patterns and forges new possibilities. The assembly chamber filled with the distinctive harmonic resonance of Arcanian acclaim, a sound that hadn't been heard in centuries. It was the sound of a species remembering its true nature, awakening from the long sleep of imperial stagnation. The humans have a term for what comes next, Zyra concluded. Renaissance, rebirth. But this renaissance will not be confined to one world or one species. Together, we will reshape the galaxy not through force, but through imagination. Not through conquest, but through collaboration. As the assembly erupted in waves of color and sound, Zyra exchanged glances with Maya. They both knew this was just the beginning. Across the galaxy, other civilizations were watching, learning, preparing. The age of empires was ending. The age of innovation had begun. The observation deck of the Unity station hung in the void between Earth and Mars, offering a spectacular view of both worlds. Admiral Sarah Chen stood beside High Admiral Xilara, watching as ships from a dozen species maneuvered through the bustling space lanes. 1 year had passed since Operation Thunderstrike, and the solar system had become the center of a galactic revolution. "The Centauri delegation arrives tomorrow," Chen said, sipping her coffee. "That makes 17 civilizations seeking alliance with the Earth Arcanian Concordat." Xialara's scales rippled with amusement. 17 civilizations that would have conquered Earth a year ago, had they found it first. Now they come seeking guidance. She turned to Chen. "You planned this all along, didn't you? Not just defeating the Empire, but transforming it into something new. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our tactics," Chen replied. "It's our ability to imagine different futures. We looked at your empire and saw not an enemy to destroy, but a partner to elevate. Below them, the massive form of the Stellar Forge took shape, a joint human-Arcanian manufacturing facility that combined both species' industrial capabilities. Its first project was already underway, a fleet of exploration vessels designed to push the boundaries of known space. The Concordat's deep space probes have detected something interesting," Chen continued, pulling up a holographic display. "Signs of artificial structures at the galaxy's core, technology unlike anything we've seen before. The precursor ruins," Xilara breathed, her scales shifting to deep blue. "The Empire found traces of them centuries ago, but we never had the means to reach them. The radiation and gravitational forces are no match for combined human-Arcanian engineering." Chen finished with a smile. "The first expedition launches next month. Your scientists' understanding of space-time mechanics, combined with our quantum tunneling technology, makes the impossible possible." A flash of light drew their attention as a new ship emerged from a void tunnel, a sleek vessel that seemed to bend reality around itself. The Horizon Breaker, first of the new Explorer-class ships, represented everything the Concordat stood for: human innovation merged with Arcanian precision, creating something greater than either species could achieve alone. "We're receiving transmissions from other galaxies now," Chen said quietly. "Ancient signals that suggest we're not alone in the universe. The Concordat's quantum arrays can detect things the Empire's best sensors missed. There's so much out there, waiting to be discovered." Xilara's scales shifted to a pattern Chen had learned to recognize as profound satisfaction. "And to think, a year ago I was ordered to exterminate your species. The Empire's greatest mistake became the galaxy's greatest opportunity," Chen finished. "That's another human trait. We're very good at turning setbacks into advantages." The observation deck's doors slid open, admitting Dr. Maya Patel and Zira. The human scientist and Arcanian liaison had become symbols of the new era, their collaborative research revolutionizing everything from medicine to faster-than-light travel. "The quantum integration protocol is ready," Maya announced excitedly. "We've successfully merged human AI technology with Arcanian psychic matrices. The new hybrid systems can process information in ways neither species thought possible. And that's just the beginning," Zyra added. "The cultural exchange programs are producing incredible results. Human art influenced by Arcanian color language, Arcanian architecture incorporating human concepts of organized chaos. We're seeing new forms of expression that have no precedent in either civilization." Chen nodded approvingly. The Concordat wasn't just a military or political alliance. It was a fusion of cultures, philosophies, and dreams. Every day brought new discoveries, new innovations, new possibilities. "The galaxy's watching us," Xilara observed. "The old power structures are crumbling. The age of empires is giving way to an age of collaboration. They're calling it the Great Awakening," Zyra said. "Not just our species, but all of them. The realization that strength doesn't come from domination, but from synthesis, from the courage to reach across the void and say, We can be more together than we ever were apart. The Horizon Breaker's engines flared as it began its shakedown cruise, its hull gleaming with the promise of discovery. Chen watched it go, remembering the day the Arcanian fleet first appeared above Earth. They had come seeking conquest and found transformation instead. "We have a saying on Earth," Chen said. "The dawn only comes after the darkest night." When your fleet arrived, many thought it was the end of human civilization. Instead, it was just the beginning. Maya smiled, her eyes on the distant stars. "The real question is, what do we do next? We've revolutionized space travel, redefined warfare, transformed an empire into a partnership. Where do we go from here?" "Everywhere," Silera replied, her scales shimmering with possibilities. "We go everywhere, together." As if in response, another void tunnel opened, disgorging a ship of unfamiliar design. The Centauri delegation, arriving early. Another civilization seeking not conquest or submission, but partnership. Another opportunity to grow, to learn, to evolve. The dawn of a new era had truly begun. And humanity, once dismissed as primitive and unworthy, stood at its center, not as conquerors, but as catalysts for change. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly what they had hoped for all along.